Kenya made her first address to the Assembly of State Parties on Monday, asking for support to ensure her concerns and those of Africa are dealt with properly at the ASP. Ambassador Macharia Kamau told the Assembly that there was a lack of proper communication as to when matters by the African heads of state and government of Kenya were to be considered.
The interest of transparency and good faith, I think it behooves the Assembly and indeed the Bureau of the Assembly to make these matters available to the membership in good time, early on, so that we can all have the opportunity to prepare ourselves accordingly, and so that we can all be able to engage in these matters which are important to the future of our Assembly moving forward.
Kenya has taken the lead in calling for amendments to the Rome Statute and indeed threatened a complete African pullout from the court if her demands were not met. I spoke with the ambassador moments before he addressed the plenary, and this is what he had to say.
What people should understand is that these matters are not done over a day, or over one assembly. It will take a series of meetings, a series of assemblies to get us where we want to be.
And when can we expect to actually hear those sentiments come from the Kenya delegation led by yourself at this particular ASP? Is that at the general meetings on Wednesday and Thursday?
It will be a number of times. You will probably hear it on Wednesday during the general debate. You'll probably hear it on Thursday when we discuss cooperation. You will hear it next week. When we discuss the conduct of the court, the conduct of the Office of the Prosecutor. There are a number of opportunities that we shall seek to ensure that we take these matters up.
Civil societies, specifically from Kenya, have taken exception to what your delegation is trying to do here. They're arguing that if Kenya is successful at the end of this meeting by pushing for that change to the Rome Statute, then you leave the entire world open to dictators possibly who would come about, cause trouble at home and not be prosecuted. What's your response to that?
We only hear from one part of the civil society in Kenya, mainly the civil society that's actually sponsored by other state parties. I have heard from civil society organizations that have been very supportive of what we are doing here. So let's be clear which civil society we are talking about. First. Secondly, let's be clear that what we are proposing is the same thing that at the moment pertains in the United States of America, in France, in the UK, in many other parts of the world, where a sitting president is not prosecuted. They have to wait, the court has to wait until such a time as the person has left office. By the way, we are not saying that a sitting president can commit crimes and get away with them. On the contrary, we're insisting that no one can get away with any crimes. But it cannot be that when the person is in power, when the person is being given a democratic responsibility by his member states, by his citizens, that at that point the person can at the same time be asked to be sitting in court. This is not possible.
There is the feeling that a lot of this was motivated by Uhuru Kenyatta's case, our president, of course. Those charges have been dropped. And to those who believe that Kenya's entire push, the delegation's push, was motivated by the cases that the president was facing and that the deputy president is still facing, that it seems improper to continue with this move since the president's case has already been dropped.
Everybody forgets that we started this entire process prior to Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta being president. It's been 4 years.
Well, his charges were on for the last 6 years.
Precisely, but he was not president. And neither was he a candidate for the presidency at that time. So I think those who bring that matter up are being slightly mischievous.
All right, Mr. Ambassador, I know you have to go in and prepare for your statement. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Thank you. Ambassador Macharia Kamau, who of course is the head of the Kenyan delegation here at the United Nations. In a short while, he'll be making his presentation before the Assembly of State Parties meeting. Aman Kiguta reporting for Citizen TV from the United Nations headquarters in New York.